Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Dhena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.
So we will recite the Achama mantra now. Is everybody with me? So, Om Apavitra Pavitro Sarvavastam Gato Piva Yatsmare Pundarikaksha Sa Bhakya Abhyantara Suchihi. Whatever pure or impure, or having passed through all conditions of material life, if one can remember the lotus-eyed Krishna, he becomes externally and internally clean. So this is the meaning of this mantra. So this is the beginning of, at this onset of any type of worship, any type of puja. We generally perform achaman, we purify ourselves so that we can worship the Lord properly with proper consciousness and proper external and internal purity. So of course, the worship of the Lord does not begin until one takes shelter of spiritual master, Adao Guru Puja, according to Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. The beginning of all worship, beginning of spiritual life comes with the mercy of spiritual master. It comes by accepting spiritual master. So today we have gathered at this auspicious ceremony to take shelter of Guru Parampara, and specifically of the lotus feet of His Holiness Keshav Bharati Maharaj and His Grace Vaisesika Prabhu. So we will request them to take from here.
Brahma Samhita.
Brahma Samhita. Okay, so we will recite Brahma Samhita now.
Just Ishvara Padma Krishna and Chintamani, and then ask Sri Aksan.
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama
Everything is rightly done. Om Jnana Timinandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshu Unmilitam Jina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhisham Stapitam Jina Bhutale Swayam Rupa Vedamaya Vedhanti Svavadantikam Mukam Karuvivachalam Pangam Langayatedini Yat Kripa Tamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinadaranam Namasheshta Mano Apisachi Putram Atra Sarupam Rupam Tasyagrajim Urupurim Maturim Goshtavatim Radha Kundam Girivadamoho Radhika
Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahavana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sujivam Sarvetam Sarvadutam Purijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Radha Sahavana Lalita Shri Vishakam Nam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarane Vanchakalpadakascha Vivasindhu Evacha Patitanam Avaniyo Vaishnaveyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. First I'd like to thank His Grace Vaisesika Prabhu for arranging this lovely ceremony. I'd like to welcome all of you, especially His Holiness Kavichandra Swami Maharaj, His Holiness Madhu Swami Maharaj, His Grace Sureshwar Prabhu, and Mahatma Prabhu, my dear God brothers. It's been a long road, well traveled. I'd like to congratulate the initiates for coming to this place in your road well traveled over many, many lifetimes to finally come to the point of rejoining Krishna's family in this Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. Krishna accepts you as his family member by this process of Diksha, Harinam Diksha. To receive the holy name of the Lord is the greatest gift, and we pray that your spiritual lives will be completely successful. As I mentioned, I'm going to defer to Vaisesika Prabhu for the major lecture, but I want to read two excerpts from Srila Prabhupada's teachings, which I feel give the essence of the relationship and duties of this disciple and the spiritual master. There's a lot of talk about who is guru, who's qualified. So many issues are there and have been there for a long time. So let us hear from Srila Prabhupada what the actual truth is. I'm reading from an excerpt from a lecture that Srila Prabhupada gave in 1972 in Vrindavan during his famous Nectar of Devotion series lecture. It's very short. I want to take a couple of minutes to read. We're going to have, this has been translated to save time, so there'll be no, so you're going to read the translation. We're going to have Japanese translation for initiates, family and friends. Simultaneous? Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Krishna is satisfied more when the devotee worships his devotee. Krishna says, if one is worshipping me, and one is worshipping my devotee, then the person who is worshipping the devotee is more important than the person who is worshipping Krishna. Therefore, in the Vaisesika by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, it is said there, Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado, Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado, Yasya aprasada na gati kadopi. These are Prabhupada's words. The best devotee is the spiritual master. Unless one is devotee, pure devotee, how can you be spiritual master? Spiritual master means representative of God. So who can become representative of God unless he is 24 hours engaged in the service of God, Krishna? How can you be spiritual master? This is also explained by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Sakshat Dalit Tvaina Samasta Shastraya. The spiritual master is described as good as Hari, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because the spiritual master is representative of Krishna, because he's the most confidential servant of Krishna. Chintum Prabhu Ya Priya Evatasya.
このことは、ビシュワナタ・チャクラワティタークによって作者が出ているものだと説明されています。精神指導者は、やはり最高人格主と同等の存在であると伝えています。精神指導者はクリシュナの最も少し召使いですから、精神指導者はクリシュナの代表者であると伝えています。研究ともね、理由は出ました。
The spiritual master is worshipped as good as the Supreme Person, Sakshat Dalit Tvaina. This is not artificial. But in all the Shastras, this is recommended.
精神指導者は思考の人物として登場に崇拝されます。作者が言っているこのことは作ることではなく、すべての経典に表されています。
Those who are learned devotees, advanced devotees, they also accept this, that spiritual master should be treated as good as Hari, the Supreme Person.
発達したはずな敬愛者もまた精神指導者はやはり思考の人物と同等に扱われるべきであることを考え受けられています。なぜか今、しかし精神指導者は自分自身を彼であると考えてはいません。彼のように統計の例を探し上げるのですが、その人は自分自身を針の、そしてそのすべての単なる召使いであると考えています。
That is the essence of the duty of the disciple. That's my comment. That is the essence of the duty of the disciple.
これが弟子の義務のエッセンスです。
Now Srila Prabhupada will give the essence of the duty of the spiritual master.
これからシュラプラパーは精神指導者の義務のエッセンスについて語ります。
But the spiritual master does not think himself as Hari.
精神指導者は彼自身を自分のことを彼がどう考えてはいません。
Although he's offered the respect of Hari, he thinks himself as humble servant of Hari and all others.
自分は彼のように崇拝されているけれども、自分のことを彼がどう思っていますね。すべての人を尊敬しています。
A spiritual master takes his disciples as his spiritual master.
スピリチュアルマスターはすべての人を自分の精神指導者と考えています。
That is the position.
これが彼の立場です。
He thinks that Krishna has sent me so many spiritual masters.
彼はクリスナが私にたくさんの精神指導者を送ってくださったと考えています。
He does not think himself as spiritual master.
自分自身は精神指導者であるとは考えてはいません。
He thinks himself their servant.
彼らの召使いであると考えています。
He does not think. He thinks Krishna has sent me. Because they have to be trained.
彼らには訓練が必要だから訓練を受けられるようにクリスナが私に指示してくれたと考えています。
Krishna has appointed him to train them.
ですから精神指導者は自分自身を弟子の召使いだと考えています。
Therefore, he thinks himself as servant of the disciples. This is the position.
これが彼らの立場です。
So when one is advanced, he can see the importance of devotees.
ですから発達すれば敬愛者の重要性が分かるようになります。
Advanced devotees never disobey or disrespect another devotee.
発達した敬愛者は決して他の敬愛者に背いたり、無礼を働きません。
Disrespect to another devotee is a great offense.
敬愛者に無礼を働くことは大きな侮辱です。
Vaishnava aparadha.
Vaishnava aparadha.
Vaishnava aparadha is very serious offense.
Vaishnava aparadha はとても重い侮辱です。
Therefore, we teach to address among the devotees, Prabhu, Prabhu, such and such, Prabhu.
したがって私たちは献身同士をプラブ、誰々のプラブと呼ぶように教えられています。
This should not be simply spoken by the lips.
これはただ口先だけで言うべきではありません。
It should be realized.
これは悟りが必要です。
Everyone should think of another devotee as his Prabhu, master.
みんなが他の敬愛者がプラブ、主人であると考えるべきです。
Not that he should try to become master.
自分自身を主人であると考えるべきではありません。
Pinada pisu nichina, tudor pisu hishtana, amanina, mananena. Mananena. We should be always ready to offer respect to all, not only devotees, but everyone.
私たちは常に敬愛者だけではなく、すべての人に尊敬の礼を捧げる心がけでなければなりません。なぜなら、すべての生命体が本来的にはクリシュナの敬愛者だからです。
Everyone. Because every living entity is originally a devotee of Krishna.
なぜなら、すべての生命体が本質的にはクリシュナの召使いだからです。
The essence of material life is the effort to become master.
エッセンスの物質的な生活ではみんなの主人になることだと思っています。
And the essence of spiritual life is the effort to become servant.
エッセンスの精神的な生活ではみんなの召使いになること、召使いになるっていう努力をすることです。
My prayer is that all of us who are hearing these words direct from Srila Prabhupada at such an auspicious event, and from an auspicious event when he was giving that lecture in Vrindavan in 1972.
1970年にブリンダーワンでパラパラでこのクラスをしたことを私はみんなが貴重な日に聞くことを私は祈っています。
That was a long time ago.
長い
Relative.
という長い昔にあったことです。
Eternal truth.
永遠の真実です。
And now I'd like to read the verse and purport from Srila Prabhupada, from Srimad Bhagavatam, in which he elaborates slightly on these points.
私はシリマッバーガーにもっと深く説明したシリマッバーガーの一つを
Bhagavatam, Canto 2,
シマラバーガムの2巻
Chapter 1,
1節
verse 10.
10テキス
Tadamite Tadamite Vidyasami Mahapaurashika Ko Bhavan Yasyash Chadadatama Su Syanmukunde Matishtiti. That very Srimad Bhagavatam I shall recite before you, because you are the most sincere devotees of Lord Krishna, one who gives full attention and respect to hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, achieves unflinching faith in the Supreme Lord, the giver of salvation.
それがまさに私があなたの前で語ったシーマンバーガータムである。なぜならあなたは主の最も誠実な見願したから。
Purport by His Divine Grace, Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is recognized Vedic wisdom, and the system of receiving Vedic knowledge is called Avaroha Panta, or the process of receiving transcendental knowledge through bona fide disciplic succession.
養子解説シーマルバーガータムはベーダの養子であることが認められており、ベーダの知識を授かる制度はアバローハパンタと呼ばれ、つまり権威のある指定証書を通じて超越的知識を授かるための方法を示しています。
For advancement of material knowledge, there is a need for personal ability and researching aptitude. But in the case of spiritual knowledge, all progress depends more or less on the mercy of the spiritual master.
物質的な知識を授かるのは個人の能力と才能が求められていますが、精神的な知識を使用するためには多かれ少なかれ精神指導者の域にたどるしかありません。弟子が精神指導者を満足させたときだけ精神的な科学が弟子へと自然に与えられます。
It's not easy to keep one's attention wrapped. So if we could not move around and do things during this, it would be much appreciated.
あちこち動かないでください。
Okay? Are we back? Okay, Sachi. Hare Krishna. The spiritual master must be satisfied with the disciple. Only then is knowledge automatically manifest before the student of spiritual science. The process should not, however, be misunderstood to be something like magical feats, whereby the spiritual master acts like a magician and injects spiritual knowledge into his disciple, as if surcharging him with an electrical current.
弟子が精神指導者を満足させたときだけ精神的な科学が弟子へと自然に与えられます。しかしその方法については、精神指導者が手品師となって弟子に電流の圧を吹かすような魔法があったものではありません。
The bona fide spiritual master reasonably explains everything to the disciple on the authority of Vedic wisdom. The disciple can receive such teachings not exactly intellectually, but by submissive inquiries and a service attitude.
資格ある精神指導者の弟子に対してベーダの知恵の権威に基づいて全ての説明をします。弟子は教えを知性で理解できなくても上純な態度で質問し、奉仕の精神で受け取るべきです。
The idea is that both the spiritual master and the disciple must be bona fide. In this case, the spiritual master, Shukadeva Goswami, is ready to recite exactly what he has heard from his great father, Srila Vyasadeva, and the disciple, Maharaj Parikshit, is a great devotee of Lord Krishna.
精神指導者と弟子の両方に資格があるべきです。この事例では、精神指導者であるシュカデブ・ゴスワミがまさに自分の偉大な父であるシュヨギ・アスデーブから学んだことをそのまま語ろうとしています。そして弟子のマハラジ・パリキシトはシュクリシュナの偉大な敬愛者でした。
A devotee of Lord Krishna The devotee of Lord Krishna is he who believes sincerely that by becoming a devotee of the Lord, one becomes fully equipped with everything spiritual.
シュクリシュナの敬愛者は主の敬愛者になることによって全ての観点が精神的になることを忠実に信じています。
This teaching is imparted by the Lord Himself in the pages of the Bhagavad Gita, in which it is clearly described that the Lord, Sri Krishna, is everything, and that to surrender unto Him solely and wholly makes one the most perfectly pious man.
この教えは主ご自身によってシーマルバーガートに授けられて、シュクリシュナが全てであり、完全に主に服従する人は完璧に一応な人物になることが明確な主によって語られています。
This unflinching faith in Lord Krishna prepares one to become a student of Srimad Bhagavatam. And one who hears Srimad Bhagavatam from a devotee like Srimad Goswami is sure to attain salvation at the end, as Maharaj Parikshit did.
このシュクリシュナに対する固い信念によって主はシーマルバーガータの天気なりシーマルバーガータをシュカデゴスワミのような敬愛者から聞く者はマハラジパリキシトがそうであったように必ず最後に解放を達成します。
The professional reciters of Srimad Bhagavatam and the pseudo-devotees whose faith is based on 1 week's hearing are different from Shukadeva Goswami and Maharaj Parikshit.
シーマルバーガータのプロの語り手が聞いただけの知識に基づいて語るための敬愛者はシュカデブ・ゴスワミとマハラジパリキシトとは異なります。
Srila Vyasadeva explained Srimad Bhagavatam under Shukadeva Goswami from the very beginning of the Janmadhyasya verse, and so Shukadeva Goswami also explained it to the king.
シュビアスデーブはシュカデブ・ゴスワミ、シーマルバーガータの最も最初の部分であるジャマディアシャヤデハを説明しています。ですから、シュカデブ・ゴスワミもまた王にこのことを説明しました。
Lord Krishna is described as the Mahapurusha in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, in his devotional feature as Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Lord Krishna himself in his devotional attitude, descended to the earth to bestow special favors upon the fallen souls of this age of Kali.
シュクリシュナはシーマルバーガータの11章でマハープルシャとして説明されています。主の敬愛的な特質はシュチェイタニア・マハプルとして説明されています。シュチェイタニア・マハプルの敬愛的態度はシュクリシュナそのものであり、この仮時代において陥った魂に特別な授業を授けるために地球上に展開しました。
There are 2 verses particularly suitable to offer as prayers to this Mahapurusha feature of Lord Krishna.
このシュクリシュナのマハプルシャの特質に対して祈りを捧げるのにふさわしい説が2つあります。
Jayam Siddha Parivava Nama Vishtadoham Tirthas Padam Shiva Virinchi Nutam Kailayam Prithyartiham Pranatapala Pavad Nibhotam Vande Mahapurushata Charanadavindam Chatva Sudusjaja Suret Siduraja Lakshmi Dharmishtaraya Vajasa Yadagaradana Maya Mrigam Daitya Vishitam Devara Vande Mahapurushata Charanadavindam. Bhagavatam 11:5, 33 and 34. In other words, Purusha means the enjoyer, and Mahapurusha means the supreme enjoyer, or the supreme personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. One who deserves to approach the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna, is called the Mahapurusheka. Anyone who hears Srimad Bhagavatam attentively from its bona fide reciter is sure to become a sincere devotee of the Lord, who is able to award liberation.
シーマルバータの11節5章33から34節。言い換えれば、プルシャとは楽しむものを示し、マハプルシャは至上なる教学者、つまり最高人格主神シュリクリシュナです。思考主シュリクリシュナに近づくのに値する人々、人物をマハプルシャと呼びます。シーマルバータの権威ある語り手から注意深く聞く者は、主の誠実な敬愛者になることができ、そのようなものは解放を達するのに値します。
There was none so attentive as Maharaj Parikshit in the matter of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Therefore, anyone who follows in his footsteps, and there was none so qualified as Shukadeva Goswami to recite the text of Srimad Bhagavatam. Therefore, anyone who follows in the footsteps of either the ideal reciter or the ideal hearer, Shukadeva Goswami and Maharaj Parikshit respectively, will undoubtedly attain salvation like them.
マハラジパレキシュよりもシーマルバータを注意深く聞ける人はものはなく、またシュリスカデブゴスワミがシーマルバータの方に最もふさわしい人物です。ですから理想的な語り手と理想的な聞き手であるシュリスカデブゴスワミとマハラジパレキシュの直接に敬意を持って従う者は誰でも疑いなく彼らのように解放を達成します。
Maharaj Parikshit attained salvation by hearing only. And Shukadeva Goswami attained salvation only by reciting. Recitation and hearing are two processes out of 9 devotional activities, and by strenuously following the principles, either in all or by parts, one can attain the absolute plane.
マハラジパレキシュとはただ聞くだけで解放を達成し、シュカデブゴスワミがただ語るだけで解放を達成しました。かかることは、9つの敬愛方針として、原則に熱心に従うことで、全てのまたは一部において人は絶対的な段階に達成します。
So the complete text of Srimad Bhagavatam, beginning with the Janmadhyasya verse up to the last one in the 12th canto, was spoken by Shukadeva Goswami for the attainment of salvation by Maharaj Parikshit. In the Bhagavad Purana, it is mentioned that Gautama Muni advised Maharaj Ambarish to hear regularly Srimad Bhagavatam as it was recited by Shukadeva Goswami, and herein it is confirmed that Maharaj Ambarish heard Srimad Bhagavatam from the very beginning to the end as it was spoken by Shukadeva Goswami. One who is actually interested in the Bhagavatam, therefore, should not play with it by reading or hearing a portion from here and a portion from there. One must follow in the footsteps of great kings like Maharaj Ambarish or Maharaj Parikshit and hear it from the bona fide representative of Shukadeva Goswami.
ですから、シマルバータの完全な施設は、ジャンマリア書の説から12編の最後の説まで続いており、これらはシュカデブゴスワミがマハラジパレキシュの解放を達成することについて重要に書かれました。ハロープラナにおいて、ゴータマンムニがマハラジアンバリスに対してシュカデブゴスワミが語ったシマルバータを定期的に聞くように助言しています。そのことによりマハラジアンバリスがシュカデブゴスワミによって語られたシマルバータを最初から最後まで聞いたことが確証されています。ですから、バータの関心のあるものは、その部分を一方から、またある部分を他から右利きするのではなく、マハラジアンブリシュやマハラジパレキシュのような偉大な王の足跡に従って、シュカデブゴスワミの権威のある代表者から聞かなければなりません。
So the responsibility on both sides is grave.
両方からの責任はとても
And we solicit the blessings of all the Vaishnavas present.
ここに集まった人々の祝福をみんなにお願いします。
Because without the blessings of the Vaishnavas, It's not possible.
バイシュナの祝福としてはそれは不可能です。
Hare Krishna.
ハリボー。
Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
じゃあ
Gaur Premanandi.
ハリハリボー。
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Om Ajnana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Prabhu Krishna Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaya Nadaswatalantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Sri Guru Vaishnavascha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Tam Sajivam Sadhaitam Sarvajutam Vijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Radha Sahagana Shri Vishakam Vinamsa He Krishna Krishna Vinamado Jagatpate Gopesha Gopikakanta Radha Kanta Mustute Chavata Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindaveshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchato Kupandhu Kevacha Patnitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Go for it, Manande. I offer my humble obeisances to the lotus feet of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada.
私はシュリー・プラブパーダの内外の皆さんに尊敬の礼を捧げます。
And to all the Vaishnavas present here today.
今日ここに集まったすべての研修者の
I offer my heartiest congratulations to all the initiates.
心から私の祈りをこの教員をする人たちに捧げます。
In the Shastra is explained that there are many species of life and the human form of life is very rare.
経典の中に書かれていることは、たくさんの生命体の中で人間の生命体はとても稀です。
And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Sanatana Goswami that out of all the human beings, there are only a few who are interested in spiritual life.
シュリー・チャイタニア・マハプラブはその人のマスターにたくさんの人間の中でも精神的なことに興味を示す人はとても稀ですと言っています。
And Krishna says it's a similar thing in the Bhagavad Gita, Manushanam Sahasreshu Kaschit Yakati Siddhaye Yatatamati Siddhanam Kashyan Mambiti Tattata.
クリシュナも同様なことをバガバッギータの中で言っています。
Those who develop a conviction that they should serve God, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, are very rare.
最高人格主クリシュナに捧げるべきだというコンビクション、確信を持っている人はとても稀です。
And the reason that all of you are here today is because you've become very fortunate.
あなたがここにいる理由っていうのはあなたがとても幸運になったからです。
The definition of faith is given in the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Shraddha Shabdi Vishwas Bhahi Suridha Nishchoy Krishna Bhakti Koila Sarva Karma Krita Hoy.
チャイタニア・チャイタミタに信念のディフィニッションですね。
When
チャ
one
イタニア・チャイタミタに定義の信念の定義が書かれています。
one develops a strong feeling that by chanting Hare Krishna and doing devotional service, everything else is done perfectly.
ハレクシナを唱えて献身行使をすることによって全てが叶えられるという信念です。
This kind of pure faith is the most rare substance in the universe.
このような純粋な信念はとても稀なことです。
And the qualification qualification all of you have for being here today, for accepting this Harinam initiation, is that you have this very rare commodity, this faith.
あなたがここにいて入門する資格っていうのはこの特別な稀な使命を持っているからです。
And there are many Vedic scriptures also.
たくさんのベリックの拠点があります。
And they're all pointing in one direction.
みんな同じ方向に示しています。
Towards Krishna Bhakti.
クリシュナのバクティ。
And the essence of Krishna Bhakti, especially in the Kali Yuga, is the chanting of Harinam.
カリユガのエッセンスのバクティは聖の皆を唱えることです。
Nikila Shruti Mali Ratnavala Juti Nirajita Pada Pankajanta. Rupa Goswami says that the crown jewel of all the Vedas, the Upanishads, they're shedding light, they're doing worship to the tips and the toes of the holy name.
ルーパ・ゴスワミはウパニシャッドのクラウンは
You don't have to do the Sanskrit, just the and Devahuti, to her exalted son and spiritual master, Piladev, says a whole bunch of shlokas to Yan Yan Bhagavad Gita Nam to Yam Tipusta Paste to Rusasna Arya Brahmana Chudana Kranti. And how wonderful it is that someone who's taken to the chanting of Hare Krishna, oh how wonderful it is that someone who's taken to this chanting of Hare Krishna.
聖の皆を唱えることを達成した人は、すべての人生の完成を達成していると見られます。
Even with the tip of their tongue and even a little bit, even one time saying Hare Krishna.
下の先はまたはたった1回だけでも唱える、ハレクリシナを唱えることです。
Everyone please say Hare Krishna.
Hare
Such a person is understood to have already performed all kinds of Vedic rituals and traveled to all holy places.
そのような人たちはベリックにあることを全てを達して他の全ての聖地を旅しているとみなされています。
The utterance of the holy name of God is so precious and so valuable that this is the statement of the Shastra.
聖の皆を唱えるということは、とても特別なことで、この聖に書かれています。
What to speak of those who have now decided to take this as their life and soul, this chanting of Hare Krishna.
この生命を唱えるということを一生するということを決めたというそういう人たちにとっては十分ではありません。
So that's why all of you are here today to declare your devotion to this process, to express your faith in this process of chanting Hare Krishna.
だからあなたはここであなたの生命に対する信念をここで表明します。
And in describing the power of chanting Hare Krishna in the Srimad Bhagavatam,
シマルバーワタムでは聖の皆の説明されています。
Srila Prabhupada, following the great acharyas, says that the quality of one's chanting is important. As we know from the Chaitanya Charitamrita, one may go on chanting Hare Krishna for millions of lifetimes with poor quality and not attain success.
何世も主の名前を唱えて、そういう質が良くないと、それを何世も続けても、聖の皆を届けるのに質が良くないと、何世も唱え続けることができても、
Whereas one pure utterance of the holy name can bring one to the professional stage of life.
質が良くなかったら意味が何世も唱えても良くない意味がないけれども、でも一回だけ純粋に唱えることができたら、それは
bring one to the perfection of life.
それは完成を達することができます。
So we'll try again. Hare Krishna. So we're given very clear guidelines to help us to chant purely.
私たちがとても純粋な聖の皆を唱えることができるようにガイドラインを示しています。
Out of the many, I'll mention 10 which are specifically given to us to help guide us in chanting the holy name purely.
10項の聖の皆を唱えることの条件がある中で、
One is to be very careful not to say bad things about devotees.
最初のものは他の献身者に対して悪いことを言わないように気をつけてください。
The tongue has a mind of its own.
舌っていうのは自分自身の心を持っています。
And actually, the tongue is connected to what's in our heart.
舌はそれは自分の心とつながっています。
If there's a trace of envy in my heart, then it's a possibility it could be expressed by my tongue.
心の中に妬みっていうのを持っていたら、それが舌を通してエクスプレス出てくるようになってしまいます。
And if I happen to let my tongue express some bad feeling about a Vaishnava, then it creates havoc in my spiritual life.
舌に他の献身者について悪いことを話せるようにしてしまったら、自分の精神生活に悪いことが
Our ability
下に自分の悪いことを思うように言ってしまってしまうと、自分の精神世界に悪いことが起こってしまう。
One's ability to appreciate Vaishnavas is directly connected to one's advancement in devotional service.
自分の他の献身者に対して素晴らしいことを認めるというその能力っていうのは、自分の精神的な生活の向上に直接関係があります。
So until one has that natural appreciation for Vaishnavas and the danger of speaking something bad about them is there, one should be very careful to watch the tongue and make sure that it doesn't do anything bad.
自然的に他の献身者に対して感謝するという気持ちが自分にまだないうちは、献身者に対して悪いことを言ってしまうということがないように気をつけなければいけません。
So if you have to say something about a Vaishnava, make sure it's nice.
もしも献身者に対して言わなければならないなら、それはいいことを言うように確信してください。
Otherwise, you can abstain and opt out of speaking altogether.
そうじゃなかったら誰も何も喋らないようにしてしまった方がまだましです。
The second guide for a chanting without offenses is to not consider demigods or anyone else to be equal to God.
聖の皆を唱える2つ目のオフェンスは、他のデミゴッド、半身のことをクリシュナの皆と一緒にしないということです。
Krishna is the greatest and he's the source of everyone and everything.
クリシュナは最高の人であり、最高の神であり、他の半身の源です。
At the same time, one should show respect to the demigods and understand their reverential connection to the Supreme Personality of God.
同時に半身の人たち、半身に対して尊敬の念を抱えなければいけません。その半身たちというのは、クリシュナに対して奉仕させているという関係を持っているから。
The third guide to pure chanting is that one should obey the spiritual master, never break the rules and suggestions given by the spiritual master.
第三の聖の御を叩けることのガイドラインは、精神指導者は私たちに教えを捧げてくれる、そしてガイドラインになります。 日修礼を捧げてくれる方だから精神指導者にいつも従わなければいけない。
The fourth is that one should not disrespect any scripture which is about God.
4番目のことは、すべての
Don't show disrespect to the scriptures.
経典に対して尊敬をしなければいけない。侮辱を捧げてはいけない。
Fifth offense or guide is that one should not consider chanting Hare Krishna, the glories of this chanting, the power of it to be imaginary.
5番目のオフェンスは、この聖子の皆に対する栄光を現象だというふうには思ってはいけませんでした。
Sixth is to give some interpretation, some mundane interpretation of the holy name of the Lord.
6番目は聖子の皆について、聖の皆について、俗的な解説をつけること。
I'm speaking very briefly about all these things because of time constraints. But in essence, we can take these as seed ideas and really meditate on them. Seventh offense is to think that by chanting Hare Krishna, I'm free from all sins, therefore I can sin and then come back and chant Hare Krishna and get free again.
7番目の私は、ハレクリシュナとなることで罪から解放されるから、だから聖の皆を唱えて罪を犯して、また聖の皆を唱えて罪を犯してというのは、これは私です。
This idea of entitlement, thinking that I'm entitled to something because I'm a devotee or because I'm chanting Hare Krishna is poisonous. It's very dangerous for the devotee.
これは私を献身したから、私を聖名を唱えているからという考えることはとても危険で、これは毒です。
Rather, one can consider that I don't have any qualification. I'm only a mercy case.
これよりも私は何も資格がない、私は慈悲にただただっているというように考えた方がいいです。
That's very safe.
この方が安全です。
Eighth offense is to consider chanting Hare Krishna to be equal to many of the other ritualistic kinds of performances that are in the Vedas for material gain.
8番目のオフェンスは、他のことにベーダに書かれているように、儀式みたいな物質的なことを捧げるための儀式に、法理念、聖の皆は同じようなものだって考えることはオフェンスです。
It's not. It's a transcendental process meant to awaken pure love for God in the heart.
主の皆は私たちの心の中に超越的なトランスセンデンタル
Transcendental process.
超越的な私たちの心の中に愛を育てることができる超越的な過程です。
Ninth consideration is that one should teach the holy name only to those who are ready to hear about it. You should explain the glories of the holy name only to those who have some faith.
7番目のことは、ホーリーネーム、主の皆を受け取ることができる、受け取るという準備ができている人だけに主の皆の栄光を教えるべきです。
Tenth offense is to maintain a material attachment.
10番目は、物質的な執着を心の中にまだ持っている、生命を唱えているけども、物質的な心を持っている、物質的な執着を持っているということを私です。
It takes a lot of extra work to maintain material attachments.
物質的な執着を心の中に持っているということはとても大変なことです。
And so it's better just to give them up, material attachments.
物質的な執着は諦めた方がいいです。
One should take every advantage to advance in devotional service. Every opportunity to advance in devotional service.
献身奉仕に向上するのに、すべての機会をいつも提供させます。 逃すべきではありません。
And also, one should, above all, be very attentive while chanting Hare Krishna.
だけどこれらのことでもっと大事なのは、注意深くチャンティングをすることです。
Actually, all we have to offer is our attention.
私たちが捧げなくてはいけないのは、その注意深いことが捧げなければいけません。
And real yoga is based on giving attention to God.
本当のヨガというのは、この注意、attention というのを、神に注意を向けるということです。
And the best form of God to give one's attention to is the holy name.
一番神に注意を向けるのに一番いいのは、主の皆を唱えることです。
Rupa Goswami says, Vacham Vachadaditi Devi Bhavato Nama Swarupa Dvayam. That God and His name are non-different.
ルーパゴスワミは神と神の皆は何も違いないと言っています。
But then he says there actually is a difference.
しかし、また違いもありますというふうに言っています。
He says God's name, Krishna's name, is more merciful than Krishna.
神の皆は神自身よりももっと慈悲深いです。
Because Krishna's name gives you unlimited opportunity to connect with Him.
神の皆はあなたを神に近づける限界のない機会を与えてくれることができます。
And even if you've been offensive to the form of Krishna, if you take shelter of His name, then immediately you'll feel bliss.
もしもあなたがクリシュナに対して侮辱的な態度であっても、クリシュナの皆を唱えていたら、喜びが現れています。
So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, there's nothing else to be had in all the worlds except for the holy name.
バクティノタクロはこの世界の中でこの聖の皆、それ聖の皆以外に何もこの世の中にないと言っています。
If you remind your mind before you chant that there's nothing else to be had in the 14th world, then he can rest while you chant.
この14の中で何もこの世何も他にはないというふうに考えて、聖の皆を唱える前にこのように考えたら、とても気持ちが穏やかになることができます。
So today also, besides making a vow to chant Hare Krishna,
今日はあなた方は聖の皆を唱える誓いを立てます。
which is the most powerful vow that you can make,
これは一番力強い誓いです。
you'll also receive a new identity.
あなたは今日はあなたの新しい自己を与えられます。
New name.
そしてあなたの新しい名前を。
So Maya can't find you anymore.
前はあなたを見つけることを持ってくれています。
We have in America the Witness Protection Program. It's kind of hard to change.
すごく劇表現がここで行われます。
I remember the first time I got a Bhaktivedanta magazine and I looked at the devotees and their names were Das and Dasi.
すごく始まらないんで、最初に見たのが、ディボティの名前はダースとダース。
And I was thinking, I really want one of those names. I want to be a Das.
私はいつも、私はこんな風な名前欲しいダース、ダース。
It's the best name, family name that you can have, Das or Dasi.
家族の名前が一番いいのです、ダース、ダース。
And simply by following the spirit of that name, which means service, then Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, no more misery for you.
この奉仕ということの奉仕ということがその名前の中にあるスピリットは奉仕をするということです。
So we will proceed with this name-giving ceremony and the making of the vows of the initiates.
それから名前を与えること、そしてこの誓いを立てるというこのセレモニーを始めます。
And Maharaj will start from his side.
マハラジが始めます。
here with us to witness. And my dear brothers, Vaisesika Prabhu, also. This is a asana she can sit.
Yeah.
Asana.
So, with the microphone, loud and clear. What are the vows you're taking here in front of the Vaishnavas, the Guru, and Krishna?
Yes, I vow to chant Hare Krishna 16 rounds and become minimum 16 rounds.
Say it again.
Yes, I vow that I will chant Hare Krishna 60 rounds minimum and
Every day,
every day
for the rest of my life.
for the rest of my whole life. I vow to become eternal servant of Gurudev.
I want to give you one more vow, two more vows. You can repeat if you accept.
Of course.
Read Srila Prabhupada's books every day.
Read Srila Prabhupada books every day.
Study them very carefully.
Study them very carefully.
And I want you to accept formally,
And
to accept formally
Vaisesika
Guru
Prabhu
as your Shiksha Guru.
as a Shiksha Guru.
Because we have now a lot of experience of devotees going to the other side, dying. And I'm a lot older than him, and he's in much better health than me on top of that. So I'm sure that he's going to outlive me. So I've seen in the past when spiritual masters depart and they don't have one specific place to go given to them by their guru, that they become sometimes confused. So when I leave this world, you should not become confused. You should take full shelter of Vaisesika Prabhu.
Yes.
Because he and I are like that.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes, okay.
Now repeat it.
Yes, I vow that I take shelter of His Holiness Vaisesika Prabhu and I never,
As my Shiksha Guru.
as my Shiksha Guru. Yes.
So you have shown me that your faith.
You have shown
No,
me
this is
that.
I'm saying. I got a live wire here. Oh, yes. And you're also taking a vow to follow what principles?
Principle for related principle?
Yes.
Yes.
So you should repeat them.
Yes.
More regular principles.
Yes, I want to.
And Sanchi, take your hand off of her mouth so she can say them.
Yes, I want to follow four related principles: no meat eating, no illicit sex, and no gambling, and no intoxication.
So you have shown me that your faith is unflinching. And unflinching faith is the only way to please Krishna. Not by becoming perfect at this, or perfect at that, or perfect at this. I want you to read this verse. Sachi? Sachi? Okay. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 7, verses 51 and 52. Today, I want you to read them very, very carefully, because Prahlad Maharaj, in a verse, is teaching that the only way Krishna is becoming completely pleased is if we develop unflinching, unalloyed faith in Him. Okay? So, your name is a name for Krishna, beautiful name, because He has the most beautiful form. Your name is Ananda Murti Dasi. Somebody take a picture. A good one. Good ending. Okay? Ananda Murti Dasi ki Lord Premanande Hare Mark? Here we are. Huh? You made it. So what are you vowing today?
I vow to avoid intoxicants, I vow to avoid meat eating, including meat. I vow to avoid gambling, I vow to avoid illicit sex, and I vow to chant at least 16 rounds of my mantra daily.
And
To accept you for the rest of my life and for future lifetimes is my hero.
and incentive. And what about Prabhupada's books?
I certainly read through the Prabhupada's books daily and study them very carefully.
Okay. And I want you also to accept Vaisesika Prabhu officially, formally, as your Shiksha Guru.
I'd be honored to accept Vaisesika Prabhu as my successor.
So when I go, then you'll have clear direction. And what he says will be not different than what I said. Sure. So it's been a long road. Those of you who don't know about Mark, he came in contact with Krishna consciousness in the early 80s. He met Tamal Krishna Maharaj in Hong Kong. And at the time, he was a colonel in the British military.
Haribo!
Just to let you know what I'm getting into here and what we have to work with. And that was a long and winding road, an illustrious career, taking you many places, including Afghanistan and Kathmandu, and you learned many things. And along that way, you kept your connection with Krishna and with Tamal Krishna Maharaj. And fate brought us together, and we had a very long conversation in which I believe strongly our relationship was awakened, and with Tamal Krishna Maharaj in the center, as well as Srila Prabhupada. And I know that that is important to you, and we will maintain that. You had an epiphany here in Mayapur. And therefore, I want to give you the name of Lord Chaitanya, which is very sweetly connected to Mayapur. Your name is Mayapur Shashidas. Shashi means moon, and Mayapur Shashi means the moon of Mayapur. So you're the servant of Lord Chaitanya, the moon of Mayapur. Hare Krishna. Mayapur Shashi Das ki Gaur Premanandi.
Amy-san, I'm very happy that we're here together today for this ceremony, and that you're accepting initiation. You and your exalted husband have been practicing Krishna consciousness for decades. And I've come to know you and your husband, who's also my disciple, very closely, and I've observed your extremely strong faith in Krishna consciousness and holy name.
あなたの旦那様も私の弟子です。そしてあなたとあなたの旦那様がすごいクリスナ意識をとても強く抱きしめているということを私は分かりました。
I want to also acknowledge your exalted Shiksha Guru Bhanu Swami, from whom you've been taking instruction for many years and on whom we have great faith.
そして私はあなたはバルマハラ素晴らしいバルマハラスの教えを受け止めているということも分かりました。
I also want to thank His Holiness Chandra Swami, whose presence in Japan for so many decades has inspired the devotees.
そしてカルチャーのラジオ何年も長く日本に行って、そして日本の人たちを助けてくれたということに感謝しています。
And who recently inspired you to take the next step.
最近あなたが次のステップを続けるように、次のステップをできるようにクリスナ教の周りで助けてくれました。
People in this world, many people almost do many things. Many people do. They almost do things.
たくさんの人たちはほとんどのことをできる、ほとんどのことをします。
My husband may tell the wife, I almost cooked you dinner. I was thinking about it, I just didn't do it.
旦那さんが夕食をする、夕食をクッキングする。
I almost got you a present. So when someone takes a vow and says, I'm actually surrendering, then Krishna takes that very seriously.
入門の時に私がこの誓いを立てますということは、クリスナはとてもそれを真剣に考えます。
So what are the very sweet vows that you are going to make today? Please say.
これからあなたはとても甘いスイートな誓いを立てることができるその一つは、
これから一生毎日中最低16週のチャリティーをします。
Yes, please.
食をしない、不義のセックスをしない、ギャンブルをしない、香水物を取らない。
Yes. Also, please be very careful in your speech. Observe the austerities of speech given in the Bhagavad Gita. And please, every day, take shelter of Srila Prabhupada by reading his books. Okay? So, because you are a singer and your bhajans are very sweet, I chose a name that comes from a bhajan written by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And it means that when one sings the holy name, one creates a flood of nectar. Following the eternal principle of parampara, taking Srila Prabhupada's and Lord Chaitanya's order to expand the Sankirtan movement, as my life and soul, and depending on their mercy, the mercy of the previous acharyas, and all the Vaishnava devotees who are just like desire trees. I'm very pleased to accept you as my disciple. And therefore a grand disciple of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And a member of the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. I hereby joyfully award you the name Amiya Dara Devi Dasi. Fucking joy.
That goes from you to you, to make you also what you just said. What you just said.
Hare Krishna, Bhakti and Joy. Recently you wrote me about how a sudden urgency came into your heart to become very serious about Krishna consciousness. And I can see that in your life, that you've been associating faithfully with devotees and practicing Krishna consciousness, and that this faith has grown in your heart to completely dedicate yourself to Krishna consciousness. I would like to acknowledge His Grace Mahatma Prabhu, who has been one of your Shiksha Gurus, who has nurtured your Krishna consciousness over the years. And I'm very happy that you've come here to Mayapur with this intention of surrendering and taking initiation. This is a historic occasion. Could you please tell your vows that you're going to take today?
I vow to chant 16 rounds minimum every day for the rest of my life. And I vow to abstain from eating, intoxication, and illicit sex and health.
Also, please be careful about speech. Study the austerities of speech and speak what's called mukha prasada. That means those things are beneficial for others, otherwise no need to speak. And also please take full shelter of Srila Prabhupada through his books and instructions every day. Just by reading Prabhupada's purports with a deep desire to associate with him, and your intelligence will be fortified, and you'll know how to move forward in Krishna consciousness at an intuitive level. It's so powerful. Okay? And since I noticed that you had immediate attraction to Mayapur Dham, and felt very much at home here for your first time, I was happy to know that I picked a name that's related directly to Mayapur Dham. And following the eternal principle of parampara, taking Srila Prabhupada's and Lord Chaitanya's order to expand the Sankirtan movement as my life and soul, and depending on their mercy, the mercy of the previous acharyas and the Vaishnava devotees who are just like the Gayatris, I'm exceedingly pleased to accept you as my disciple, and therefore a grand disciple of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and a member of the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. I hereby joyfully award you the name Jalangi Devi Dasi.
Maybe after we can.
After.
So now we will very much in line with what had been said from the worship of the previous acharyas. So this is the mudra. The grains, you can use the finger, ego finger. So this is the devotional part. And when we say swaha, then you will offer the grains to fire. And please repeat after me. When we will chant the pranam mantra, please repeat after me. So now we will start the question. Ayom Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Pratamastu Mahatvala Vidyastu Prakeshvari Vidyastu Sankhinkacha Chaturdastu Vicharanam Panchasya Panchamashtraiva Shastam Kashikumardanah Satamo Daidyantacha Ashtamo Dinnapalavaha Navamo Prabhadavado Dashamo Nantahastakaha Ekadasho Maharabro Bhadasha Karunanidihi Om Vajranakaya Vidmahe Tishvadagamskaya Dhimahi Tanno Naras Narasimha Prachodayate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Bhur Swaha. So we can draw the grains. Maybe somebody can hold plate for March and Om Bhur Swaha. Idam Vishnavedam Namama. Om Bhuva Swaha. Idam Achyutaya Idam Namama. Om Swa Swaha. Idam Narayanaya Idam Namama. Om Bhurbuva Swa Swaha. Idam Anantaya Idam Namama. Please repeat after me. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnana Shalakaya Chakshu Umilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Swami
Hare Ram, Ram Ram.
Shri Advaita Sita,
Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Sita,
Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita,
Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita,
Shri Rup Shri Sanatan Bhakta Guna, Shri Jiva Kumar Bhakta Guna, Jai Gosai Kori Charana Mana, Shaha Hote Vinanash Abhishta Pura, Jai Gosai Jarnui Karda, Santavara Pararinu Mura Vanshara, Tandera Charana Se Bhakta Saniva,
Tandera Charana Se Bhakta Saniva,
Jane Janame Hoye Avila,
Janame Janame Hoye Avila,
Jai Gosai Jabe Bhaji Kulava,
Jai Gosai Jabe Bhadra Kulava,
Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Koila Gatha,
Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Koila Gatha,
Shri Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Koila Gatha,
Shri Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Koila Gatha,
Bolo Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindava,
Bolo Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindava,
Bolo Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindava,
Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindava,
Shri Guru Vaishnava Hare Bhajri Rama,
Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Bhajari Rama,
Shri Guru Vaishnava Padma Koya,
Shri Guru Vaishnava Pada Padma Koriya,
Harinam Sankirtan Bhole Bhagavata Bhoda, Hare Ram Sankirtan Bhole Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. My God, Hare Bol, Hare Bol, Hare Bol, my God, Hare Bol. Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada. Anandamurti, Mayapur Shashi, Jodi Devi Dasi, Amiya Dara Devi Dasi ki. Premanande.
परिव्राज विचार से आश्रम से श्री श्रीमान शिवाजी रही एक भक्ति विधान स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद अनंत कोटि वैष्णव नमाचार्य श्री ठाकुर श्री सनातन बंदवनासी ओम अवतारनाथ सत्प्रसाय प्रेम से बोलो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री द्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपिका श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड की गोवर्धन की श्री वृंदावन धाम श्री मायापुर धाम श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम गंगामाई जमुनामाई की श्रीमती तुलसी देवी भक्ति देवी की ओ प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल नाम संकीर्तन की Vinanga ki
Jai.
Prabhupada's Transcendental Book Distribution ki
Jai.
Transcendental Mahaprasad Distribution ki
Jai.
Samaveda Bhaktivinda ki
Jai.
Go Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. Go Premanandi.
Hari Hari Bol.
Samaj Subhekana Kinshin Shani Kore. Samaj Subhekana Kinshin Shani Kore. Samaj Subhekana Kinshin Shani Kore.
Go Premanandi. Hare Krishna.
Nachari Armarman, Nachari Armarman, Nachari Armarman, Nachari Armarman, hey, Nachari Armarman, Nachari Armarman, Nachari Armarman, Nachari Armarman.